My best friend just went wedding dress shopping and one of her bridesmaids tried on a wedding dress.
That's crazy.
What is she doing? It's just efficiency.
Deficiency.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Right.
My best friend Gina got married in November 2022. We've known each other since we were babies and have been best friends our whole lives. I was her maid of honor. She had 4 bridesmaids. One of them was Kelly, her future sister-in-law. By the way, this comes from Call Me Desdenova 42 on the OKstorytime subreddit. So, Gina started dating her now husband Greg in high school, and they've been together for 8 years by the time he proposed. They were young, but I was surprised it didn't happen sooner. Kelly, on the other hand, had been with Greg's older brother Paul for 10 years, with no sign of getting married anytime soon. Due to her responsibilities at work, Gina had her first and only wedding dress appointment only 4 months before the wedding. Those present were me, Kelly, another bridesmaid, and her younger sister. Before we got started, Gina asked me if I wanted to try on dresses with her, since I was also engaged. To anyone else, this might have seemed like a fun offer for her best friend and fellow bride-to-be. But it was actually because I was pregnant. I was less than 2 months along and only told Gina to let her know I'd be close to my 3rd trimester during her wedding. I significantly postponed my own wedding due to my pregnancy, still not married. And she knew I wouldn't start looking for a gown until long after my baby was born, so she wanted me to try on dresses before I started showing.
Okay.
I was extremely thankful, but declined. Gina's appointment was only 90 minutes long, and she had her own dress to find. So it does, I guess it kind of makes sense why Kelly might have seen that as an opening. But it also shows OP's no, that's crazy.
Right.
This is about you.
Right.
We all figured that was the end of it and went to help Gina pick some dresses to try on. While we were near the rack, I noticed that the dresses that Kelly was picking and showing us were a lot different than the ones we were looking for.
Oh, gosh.
Gina was interested in simple sheath dresses with spaghetti straps or short sleeves, but most of the ones Kelly was going for were strapless A-line dresses and ball gowns. We tried to remind her that wasn't what we were supposed to be looking for, but she insisted on adding some of those dresses to the rack with the ones we were picking up anyway. Gina started trying on the dresses we'd found. We took pictures, gave our opinions, and discussed each of them with our consultant. At some point, Kelly excused herself and didn't come back for almost 15 minutes.
Oh, boy.
The amount of time one would need to try on a dress. Suspicious.
Interesting.
We were so focused on Gina that we didn't even notice how long she was gone. And we really didn't notice that she'd taken one of the dresses she'd picked with her.
Boy.
And then 40 minutes into the appointment, in walks Kelly.
Oh, no.
And I think y'all know where this is going. To her credit, she looked great. It really was a pretty dress. Strapless, had a corset bodice and a tulle skirt, a beaded sweetheart neckline, and a sweep train. Not my thing, but still flattering. And as we found later, the reason she had taken so long was because she had found another consultant to help her get into not only the dress itself, but also 2 petticoats to get the ball gown look.
What?
She went all out.
Yeah.
Girl, get your own wedding dress appointment.
Right. Don't you have to pay for that?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
how
assuming because you get all that champagne.
Yeah. Right. And if it's scheduled for a certain amount of time, you can't just be like, hey,
Yeah.
can I just get someone else to
I
work?
wonder how much
and,
wedding dress appointments are.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't actually realize you had to pay for them, but it makes sense that you would.
Right now, I was like, you probably have to pay for a wedding dress
especially
appointment.
if there's a time period.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How much do you have to pay for a wedding dress appointment? Put it in the comments.
Please.
Kelly paraded in front of us with a huge smile on her face, spinning around, going on about how much she loved the ivory dress and how she felt like such a princess before smugly asking, "Do you guys like it?" We sat there for a moment in absolute shock. Gina's sister looked like she was about to blow up on Kelly. I could tell Gina was upset, but she has both a BA in public relations and the consequential skill of not embarrassing herself or other people in public.
That's funny.
Fortunately, I have neither. So I was the first to open my mouth. I started.
Yay!
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
This is what we need from a friend at a wedding dress
Yes.
appointment. I started by asking why she was trying on wedding dresses. And Kelly had the nerve to chuckle and say, what do you mean? Gina said you could try on dresses with her. It's not my fault you said no. Why can't I do it too?
Because she didn't ask you.
She didn't freaking ask you.
She didn't ask you.
So I said as annoyingly and condescendingly as I could, oh, so you're engaged too? My bad. I had no idea.
Oh my gosh. Get her.
Nice. Drag her. At that, Kelly looked nervous. Everyone was staring at her. After a moment, she sheepishly confessed she wasn't actually engaged. The consultant that had helped her turned to her shocked, saying, you said you were getting married in 3 months.
Stop it.
You lied to the consultant?
Call her out.
Yeah.
Call her out to the consultant.
She tried to give us excuses. She was almost engaged. It was just one dress. It wasn't fair that I could try on dresses and not her, but it was done. Everyone at the boutique, bridal party, and staff alike was already pissed.
Oh my gosh.
After almost 5 minutes of that, Kelly finally asked someone to help her out of the dress. Once that was done, she took a seat as distant from the other bridesmaids as possible.
Good.
And didn't say a word for the rest of the appointment.
Good.
As you shouldn't.
Stay away.
Stay silent and stay away. The consultant must have apologized to Gina a dozen times. Kelly never did.
Oh,
that's so
my
embarrassing
goodness.
This is her future sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And she's pulling this crap and not even apologizing for it.
Right.
It's embarrassing.
That is.
Gina did end up finding her dress that day, so we considered the appointment a success. Kelly wasn't dropped as a bridesmaid, mostly because neither Gina or Greg wanted to upset Paul, but remained aloof and unpleasantly snarky up until the wedding. Even though I was the maid of honor, Kelly decided to avoid me as much as possible for embarrassing her the way I did.
Girl, you did that to yourself.
You did that.
That was literally all you.
You embarrassed yourself.
Yeah, she did especially as a bridesmaid, maid of honor, especially as a maid of honor, you are the one that has to stand up for the bride.
Yes.
Like, come on.
You need to. She didn't find out I was pregnant until the rehearsal dinner. It was at the dinner that she told the bridal party that she was going to give Paul an ultimatum. If he didn't propose to her that month, she'd dump him. She told the bridal party?
Oh my gosh.
It was at the rehearsal dinner? Is Paul there?
I'm assuming.
I feel like Paul would probably be there. And she's like, Paul, I just want everyone to she's like, she taps the glass.
Yeah.
Hey,
everyone needs to know.
I've been dating Paul for 10 years.
Right.
And if he doesn't propose,
yeah,
I'm breaking up with him.
How I'm imagining it is like she's talking to the bridal party.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey guys, if Paul does this, or if Paul doesn't propose in this month, I'm gonna break up with it. He's like right behind, like eating some cake or something. He's like, wait, huh? Wait a second.
Yeah, I can see that. A week after the wedding, he dumped her. Probably because he heard. He overheard her.
He said,
Dang.
okay, if it's one or the other, I'll pick this one. Dang.
No one was surprised. Gina and Greg are still happily married, and she is now very open about how angry she got that day. That being said, we both love telling this story. Edit, just wanted to add some things. While Kelly and Paul showed no sign of getting married or engaged, I never really thought they had to. I didn't know them much, but they were living together at the time, and Paul was working on a second degree. They were also talking about getting a cat.
Cute.
I also don't really think a 10-year relationship requires a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and my stepdad dated for a decade before getting married. In the meantime, they moved in together, got 2 dogs, and didn't talk about marriage until he proposed. And as some people have pointed out already, Kelly could have proposed to Paul herself.
True.
I'm not trying to defend Paul, but relationships are a two-way street. And yes, there's no problem with wanting to try on a wedding dress, but there's a time and a place for that, and it's definitely not during someone else's scheduled appointment, especially when the bride has a limited time frame to try her own dress. Gina has a demanding job that doesn't grant her vacations, so if she didn't manage to choose her dress during the appointment, scheduling another one would have been a huge nuisance. She was also literally paying to be there.
That's what we were saying.
As we thought.
That's crazy.
But you don't have to pay to watch us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap our profile.
Just tap
Unless
it.
you want to be a member, and then you would have to pay a little bit for
but
that.
It's just a little.
It's all just a little, and everything else is free.
There's so many perks.
So many perks. But there is a little bit left.
Yeah.
But do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, I have so many. Oh,
Dang.
like it's just like I would be so mad, especially confirming that she has to pay for it. I would be so mad as that other consultant being like, I'm doing this for you for free.
Yeah.
You didn't even have an appointment. Like, I don't know why the consultant would in the first place, but like, whatever. I'm not going to blame her. Like, that would piss me off. That would piss me off. Also, I'm pretty sure, like, in some states in the US, I don't know where they are, but like, I think in some states, like, if you're like living together for 10 years, I think that counts as like a legal
common
marriage.
law marriage.
Yeah.
Legally blonde.
Yes.
You're entitled to the dog.
Exactly.
Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
No, I also, although this is like such a side note, but I kind of like, not from a gender norms perspective, but I would want someone to propose to me.
Yeah.
Just because
me too.
I'd be like, do they really like me?
I need it. Because I mean, that honestly, in this situation is a good point. Like she could propose.
Yeah.
But like, obviously that's not what
really
he
like,
wants.
Yeah.
So wouldn't really work out anyway.
Yeah.
But I want to be proposed to. I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
you know?
Literally not from a gender norms perspective.
No, not
just from I need validation. That you like me. Maybe that's a problem. Sue me.
Maybe we can talk about that off camera.
But there's a little bit more.
Oh, okay, great.
That's why I declined Gina's offer, and I expressed so in front of everyone, Kelly included. If she still wanted to try on a dress or two, she could have asked Gina, who might have said yes. It would have still been inappropriate, but it's better than what she did. Kelly also expressed that she wanted to try on more dresses, which would have definitely consumed a lot of Gina's time. Also, please don't blame Gina for this. Was I a Grinch? Probably, but it wasn't her fault. No, I would never blame Gina. I blame Kelly.
Yeah.
And also you stood up for Gina, so you're the hero of the day.
Yeah, you did a great job. Yeah, because it would be awkward for Gina to be like mad. Like it would be totally reasonable. Yeah. But I think it's like
this is
as
my like
Gina
sister-in-law.
Right.
A good relationship.
Right. Like having someone else stand up for you is like, I don't know, sometimes feels a little more acceptable.
A little better. Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're good. You're good, OP.
You're in the clear.
Yeah.
But that is the end of that story and the end of this episode.
Woo!